Hi everybody, this is Sarah with Kaleb House. I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about code words with your kids. And what I mean by this is a word that you use if you see someone or something that seems dangerous in the general vicinity you're at. And I want to give you an example from my own family. So we've been using code words with our kids for about 7 to 8 years now. And it's something that it's a word that our kids know, it's easy for them to remember, and it has a significant meaning to them, but it is not a word that we use in everyday language with our children. So it is literally a word that basically we're only ever going to use it if there's a dangerous situation going on. And so, like I said, we've been using this for 7 to 8 years now. And within the last 2 years, I'd say, our kids have really picked up on what the word, like when I say the word, they can actually pick up the person that I'm talking about. Because the vast majority of the time when I'm using this word, we're out and about, we're in a store, and I'm either noticing unusual behavior in a person that's showing like my kids a lot of attention that they shouldn't be showing them, or I'm one of those people that when I go shopping, I don't like necessarily do the same circuit all the time. I sometimes bounce around, and I'll notice that I see someone that is kind of in the same pattern that I'm in, and it's really weird because they shouldn't necessarily be in the same pattern that I'm in. And so I'm just keeping an eye out on that person. When I say this code word, my kids, all of them, know to stay glued to me. Whether there's one of my kids with me or all of my kids with me, they know to stay very close. Now, they don't wander regardless because I have made them a little bit aware of the world we live in, but they know 100% they stay close, they hang onto the cart as tight as they can, they hang on to me as tight as they can, depending on the situation. They're literally glued to me. One of the most recent examples I can actually give is we were walking into a local Walmart, and as I'm walking into a local Walmart with my 2 oldest daughters, this man is walking out of Walmart, and as we're walking in, he literally turns around right behind us and starts following us back in. And I didn't even have to say the code word. Both my big girls that were with me literally grabbed my hand even tighter than they were already holding me. And my girls are preteen. They were already holding my hands. They're holding it even tighter. And I said the code word, and both of my girls are like, the guy that just turned around behind us, right? And I said, yes. So my girls, being early teen, preteen area, they picked up on that immediately, that was very odd. Now what happened is that gentleman actually ended up his wife had called him, I guess she was at the checkout, and he went back to the checkout area clearly to go be with his wife to help her bring stuff out. But it was still one of those situations where I used the code words, the kids got even tighter onto me, and they picked up on who it was talking about. And again, this is something that you can use with your kids. I have literally, like I said, 7 to 8 years. So my kids were anywhere from probably 3 years old to 8, maybe. So we've been using it for a long time, and they understand the word. And there's even times where like my kids have pointed out to me, hey, like Mom, that person looks a little off. Like they've been looking at me a lot. And I will say, okay, let's just button up, tighten up, and stay closer to me. So I wanted to share that with you because this is something that is really easy and effective for you to be able to be safer with your children in your community, and to also teach them situational awareness. Because like I said, with my girls, they pick up a lot of times now who I'm even talking about. So it helps them to be more situationally aware. If you have any more questions about Kaleb House or the work that we do, you can check us out at kalebhouse.org.